This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning, Uganda. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Thank you for always choosing to watch UBC. We come to you live from Nile Avenue here in Kampala. At the moment, there is a rapid rise of betting companies, casinos, and lotteries in Uganda. But the question is, how safe are these companies? How safe is the industry? You who is betting, is your company licensed? Do you know how to differentiate an illegal one from a legal company? Today we are here to discuss about the regulations and the mandate of the Uganda National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. You as an operator, do you know what it is supposed to be done to you once you are caught on the wrong side of the law? Do you know the mandate of the board? Today we are going to dissect into these matters so that you can have a thorough insights of what should be done and what should not be done. And we are joined by a distinguished guest, that is Alicia Atkunda, Senior Manager, Licensing and Responsible Gaming. Good morning, Alicia. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Please say hello to the viewers.
Yes, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. My name is Alicia Atkunda. I'm the Senior Manager, Licensing and Responsible Gaming at the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Okay, for my ordinary citizen out there, we know betting. Some of us do not know about casinos, or we hear the word lottery, but we do not know what is encompassed within the or even the board, the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. What is your role? What is your mandate as the board?
Thank you so much. The National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board is a body corporate established by an Act of Parliament, that is the Lotteries and Gaming Act, and we are essentially mandated to license, regulate, and supervise all lotteries, casinos, betting and gaming activities in the country. So our role is threefold. One, we support government by collecting revenue, so that's through accommodating the existing demand. Two, we also ensure there's fair competition, that is through licensing financially capable and integral companies, but also ultimately our mandate is to protect the citizens from the negative effects of gaming in the country.
Okay.
Yes, so we ensure
vulnerable ones.
Yes, yes. So that's our main mandate. Regulation. As the board, we don't just focus on collecting revenue, but our core role is to protect the citizens. So that's why responsible gaming is integral to our mandate. Yes.
Okay. I always move around and I find most of these betting shops crowded, a limited space, and I'm wondering, what is it supposed to be like for one to operate a betting shop in terms of capacity, in terms of location? How is it according to the mandate?
So we do have regulations for licensed operators. So licensed operators, and I think it's important to make that distinction. You have the licensed operators, but you also have the illegal operators who do not know the regulations or the law that governs them. So for licensed operators, we do have regulations that govern them, where we're looking at operating hours, betting shops. There's a minimum of 30 square meters for all betting shops, and but also there's been a shift. We are now seeing most of the betting moving online. So in as much as you're seeing these shops around, over 80% of Ugandans gamble online. So I will have my phone, I wake up every morning and gamble. So the 7% that you're seeing around is just a few of the gamblers, but most of the shift has been moved online.
Okay,
yes.
And how is it for you people to regulate these companies online? Because it can get a bit tricky.
Yes.
Are you able to exercise your mandate very well?
Yes, so we have, we've focused on technological-based supervision.
Okay.
That's through the National Central Electronic Monitoring System. We monitor significant events as well as gaming activity, but we've also ensured that operators, or we're compelling operators to have age verification measures in place to display responsible gaming messaging, to ensure that players incorporate responsible gaming tools. So we do monitor these activities. We have a tech-based IT operations that we use to monitor such significant.
Speaking about events, like you have just said, why is it a priority for the board to regulate in major sports events?
Yes, so as I had mentioned earlier, mobile betting is on the increase.
Yeah.
And as mobile betting increases, so does problem gambling. Gaming can be psychologically.
Please first elaborate what is problem gambling.
So
because
yes.
you are down there may not really know what is
Yes.
problem gambling.
So problem gambling is essentially being addicted to gambling. So you have, as mobile betting has grown, as online gaming has grown, there is a lot of addiction. Addiction is on the rise, yes.
Okay.
So we are ensuring that players, one, through our responsible gaming program, we are incorporating a number of things. That's one, awareness campaigns. So here we are going out to communities, we are going out to schools, because research shows that actually majority, 58% of the problem gamblers are below the age of 30. So we are pushing to have awareness campaigns where we are talking about how to gamble responsibly, bet what you can afford to lose. Okay. A lot of people look at this as a game for income, but it's actually purely entertainment, recreation. It's purely a game of chance. It's not a game of skill. So we are reinforcing that message, going out there and ensuring that the players gamble responsibly.
Speaking of addiction, how do I know I'm addicted to gambling?
Yes.
Or I'm addicted to betting?
Yes.
Because I might be out here and I don't know I'm actually addicted. What are the indicators that someone is addicted?
So there are a number of signs that lead to problem gambling. One is chasing losses. You keep betting to make back your money that you've lost. Two is also borrowing money.
In hope that I will...
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you go, you lose your 50K and you want to win it back. So you keep chasing losses. And that's one of the signs. Because this is purely a game of entertainment. If you lose, as much as it's, not good to lose, it's money that you can afford to lose. But also, secondly, it's borrowing money for gambling. You borrow money for other things, but then you're gambling the money. You're spending time. You're at the office, you're gambling. You're at home, you're gambling. So if your mind is consumed with gambling, that's also a sign. Yes, but we also have self-evaluation checklist on our website. It has about 10 questions. Okay. So we encourage the players out there, if they feel or their loved ones have a problem with gambling, you fill that checklist. It has about 10 questions. And if you tick yes on over 5 of those questions, then you actually do have a problem. And therefore, you need to seek help.
Oh, speaking of that, I know of someone who sold off his assets, valuable assets, because he was playing some game of, is it money poker, something like that, in the casinos.
Yes.
And someone who was very wealthy ended up going back to zero at the starting line. And was at the mercy of well-wishers because of gambling. So you who is watching me right now, we are discussing the role of National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board in Uganda. Are you a gambler? Do you love betting? You people bet on so many activities, sports, music, and so forth. So this is for you. If you're an operator, you need to stick around so that you can get to know the guidelines of the board. Now, Alicia, how has Uganda's gaming landscape evolved over years?
It has evolved significantly. If we are to talk of pre-COVID times, the pre-COVID time, that's between 2016 when the board came into place to about maybe 2019, majority of the operations were land-based, cash-based. But as lockdown happened, as COVID came, and most of the businesses were shifting online, so did online and mobile gaming. So mobile betting has really increased. It's, as I mentioned earlier, over 80% of Ugandans gamble online today.
Okay.
Yes, but there's also been an increase in illegal operations. Oh. Illegal operations is something as a board we are battling with, that we are fighting to ensure that our Ugandans are protected, because these illegal operators fleece our Ugandans. Okay. But then we've also, as the industry keeps shifting, us as the board, we are also pushing technological-based supervision, again through the central monitoring system in collaboration with Uganda Revenue Authority.
Uganda, the 35% of the population are youth, and statistics show that these are the people who mainly participate in betting, and maybe for the senior citizens in gambling, that is casinos and lotteries. And with the English Premier League going on right now, there are so many conversations, discussions about Man City and Arsenal, Manchester United. What trends have you observed during this period?
Yes, I mean,
as the board.
Yeah, Uganda has a huge sports fan base, so I can see where your question is coming from. Yes, but one, there's been a growth in mobile transactions for sure. Oh. Yes, because most of the, because as I mentioned earlier, most of the betting is done online. So a lot of mobile transactions, there's been an increase, but also there's been an increase in accumulator betting. As you mentioned, we are in a season.
Betting. What's that?
Betting. So for the viewers out there, this is where players bet on multiple selections. So as you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of leagues happening at a go.
More than one bet.
You have English Premier League, you have the other
La Liga going on,
yes.
FA Cup.
Yes.
Shafia, this called Akatambula, Akatambula.
Yes,
okay,
there are tennis matches, but there's also other like horse race, Formula One.
Yeah.
So you'll find what players do is they'll bet on multiple selections. So it could be multi-sports where I decide to bet on a win in tennis, Formula One, football, and then while it's a bigger reward, it's a bigger risk, because once you lose on either one, you lose all your money.
The entire receipt.
Yes. Or I can decide to bet that Tottenham, Arsenal, and Brighton will win this weekend. So I put one wager on both those three wins. So there's threefold, there's fourfold, as well as multi-sports, what we call accumulator betting. So there's been an increase in accumulator betting.
Okay, with this increase, how best can Ugandans bet responsibly?
Yes, that's a very good question. So we recently rolled out what we call the responsible gaming directives, because in as much as it's something that government we're pushing, we're also working with the licensed operators. So we're encouraging Ugandans to incorporate what we call the responsible gaming tools. So we have limit-based tools where we encourage Ugandans to bet what they can afford to lose, put financial limits, put time limits. How much can I deposit for this day? So operators have incorporated their tools in their systems where I'm able to say, okay, if I put 50K today, once I lose the 50K, I will not bet till maybe the next weekend or till the next day. So we're encouraging people to put limits.
For the operators?
For the players to the operators,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
So as a player, if I go onto the site and I put a limit that I will bet within an hour, if the hour elapses, I should be able to leave. But also we have self-exclusion mechanisms. If I feel like I have a problem with gambling, I can be able to exclude myself.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we are discussing matters of gambling, lotteries, and casino. You may be out there and you're playing cards called Matat, I think. Is that part of gambling?
It can be,
Portable,
yes.
chess?
As long as they are purely games of chance.
Oh, and there is money at stake.
Pool can be considered a game of skill.
Okay.
Or like chess.
Okay.
But here we're talking about casino games. We're talking about roulette. If you're a player that plays, gambles a lot, you'll be able to know roulette, blackjack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from your statistics as the board, are there particular demographic regions that are more prone to gaming, betting, and lottery activities, especially in addiction? Yes. In Uganda?
Yes. So the shift has been, the large percentage has been the cities, of course.
The urban areas? Yes,
the urban areas. But we are seeing a shift. So what is happening is the illegal operators are now moving to the outcasts, to the town councils, even the village councils where they are not supposed to be. So because these people are unaware, or they do not know about responsible gaming, we are seeing a rise also increasing in those parts where they don't have access to such awareness programs.
You mentioned something like villages where they're not supposed to be. So you have specific vicinities in which betting shops are supposed to be?
That's true.
Oh, please elaborate.
Yes. So the regulations require that it has to be within the town councils and the cities.
Not villages, not parishes?
No.
Not, okay.
Yes, because these are people who do not have enough money to go to gamble. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So when you come to notice that these regions are more prone, how are you helping them out as the board?
Yes, so we've set up regional offices, that's in Gulu, Mbale and Barara. But we've also intensified our operations and also compliance monitoring inspections. We're working with the local leaders as well as Uganda Police. Actually, last year we launched what we called Operation Machine Haram.
Machine
Haram.
Haram,
yes.
that is Arabic?
Yes,
okay,
so we because again, like I mentioned, we are battling with a lot of illegal operations. So what happens is you will find people are importing in machines, illegal machines. Spare parts.
They're playing slots, insert coins, and you play. Oh, okay.
So these machines are substandard. They are very substandard. What they do is they tamper with what we call the return to player percentage. So ideally, standardized machines, the legalized machines, the return to player percentage is 90 to the player and 10 to the operator, because it's a game of entertainment. It's not for money. It's not a money-making business. It's just it's like arcade games. But now what these illegals do, they switch.
They tamper with them.
They tamper. So 20 goes to the player and 80 goes to them.
Wow.
Yes. Oh. So we launched the Operation Machine Haram, where we seized over 6,000 illegal machines.
Okay.
6,000 in collaboration with the Uganda Police.
Okay, so do you have a department that makes sure these machines are up to standard, or you are helped out by UNBS?
Yes, so we've partnered with UNBS, but we also work with what they call the Gaming Labs International Standards. This is a world-renowned company that standardizes machines. So we have a compliance department that specifically ensures that the machines that come into the market meet those standards.
Okay. Is someone out there who loves betting? I've heard of claims whereby someone wins and the operator takes long to cash in or to cash out their tickets or their receipts. What should these people do in such circumstances?
Thank you. So we have a complaints handling policy, but also a dedicated legal department. So anyone who is aggrieved calls our contact center, the toll-free helpline, which is 0800 250 800. Okay. Or they could email us at info@lgrb.go and we shall support them.
Okay. Yes. Whichever complaint concerning lotteries, gaming, and betting. So how do you help me as a Ugandan who wants to become, or who is already a problematic gambler or better? How do you help me to become a responsible one as the board? Or you only stop at regulating and supervising these other licensed companies?
No. So in as much as we focus on preventive rather than reactive, we do have collaborations with counselors at the National Referral Hospitals. We have qualified counselors. So anyone that's addicted just calls us, contact center, Again, as I mentioned, we have a toll-free helpline, and we offer free counseling. Free counseling, anyone who has an issue calls, but we also work with the operators to ensure that you're self-excluded. Because it's one thing to get treatment, but you're still participating in gambling.
Yeah,
so our first course of action is to write to operators to block your accounts, and then we start with the counseling if you wish so.
I'm having this discussion about the responsible gaming and player protection with Alicia Atkonda, Senior Manager, Licensing and Responsible Gaming. So Alicia, for the youth, how is the board trying to help them, or how has it helped them to prevent under 18 gambling?
Yes, so we carry out sensitization activities. We visit schools, we visit higher learning institutions, vocational institutes, where we are sensitizing the youth against gambling. Okay. So our message to the underage is different from the message to those that participate in gambling. We are telling them that gambling can be psychologically harmful. So we visit schools. We are in partnership with the Ministry of Health, as well as Ministry of Education, to ensure that students are sensitized against gambling. We've also incorporated clubs in some schools, responsible gaming ambassadors, who again talk to their fellow students about the negative effects of gaming.
Okay. Someone out there might be wondering, gambling seems negative. Is it, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, is gambling legal in Uganda?
Gambling is legal. Gambling is a form of entertainment. And I think that's what Ugandans need to know. I think there is a lot of misconception that we are just revenue generating, but our role as the board is to protect citizens, but also re-emphasize that gambling is just a game of entertainment. It's a fun activity. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So how are you making sure that these operators, the owners of sporting shops, adhere to the guidelines that are stipulated within the 2016 Act? Because if they are money-minded, they prefer making profit. Most of the Ugandans, we do know, will not chase away someone who is under 18 years from gambling or from betting.
So this is through nationwide inspections. We carry out compliance inspections, spot checks. Again, we leverage on the Uganda police to ensure that operators are operating within the law.
Okay. And how does the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board monitor spikes in betting in Uganda, especially in those high peak sports seasons? For example, there is a World Cup, there are Olympics, Champions League, Premier League. How do you monitor the spikes?
We actually indeed plan for them because, again, like you said, there are different seasons where you find maybe between October the season is a bit low, but now it's picking up. We're getting into World Cup, AFCON and the likes. So again, we have a National Central Electronic Monitoring System that has a dedicated team. So we're able to monitor any significant events. We're able to look at the stakes, the payouts, and any other gaming activity.
And from your statistics and surveys as the board, what field do Ugandans in when it comes to the demographics and the types of betting they do have and gambling? Is it normally local or it's foreign? For example, do they focus mainly on international sports or the local sports while they are carrying out betting?
So the sports betting is largely again on the leagues, the Premier Leagues.
Okay.
So
and
that's
mainly,
where we've
which
seen
sport mainly?
As football. Football is, Ugandans love football. That's where we see the numbers rise whenever there's a match. Okay. So sports betting is the highest. It's the highest. Casinos is a small number, but majority of Ugandans participate in sports betting.
And what is the board doing to make sure that new entrants into this field of operating lotteries, lottery companies, gaming companies and betting companies adhere to this? Because, you know, licensing them is one thing and making sure they adhere to these policies is another.
Again, through compliance inspections, but also we ensure that they follow the law. So we do have punitive measures that come in place. If we find that you're not adhering to the law, there are certain fines that accompany that. But yes, we definitely have a dedicated compliance team, as well as enforcement, to ensure that operators or the new entrants into the market adhere to these rules.
As the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board, do you take them through the laws, the system, how it works, the stipulated guidelines and the stringent laws and possible consequences they're likely to face before issuing out these licenses?
Yes, so we have what we call stakeholder engagements with the operators every other quarter. So we ensure that they know the law, we ensure that they know when they need to file taxes, we ensure that they know anything to do with how to run operations. So
because
we have continuous engagement.
When they are caught and on the wrong side of the law, someone might urge, I was not told, I do not know this is wrong. And so as to avoid such instances.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We are going to take a very small coffee break, and when we return, we're still discussing the role and mandate of the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board, together with responsible gaming and player protection. You're watching UBC. Good morning, Uganda Extra.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential. With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from the coffee break. I hope you are sipping on Ugandan coffee because it is in our nature, proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture and more industry and fisheries and more industry rather. Someone here is making me laugh, forgive me about that. But we are discussing responsible gaming and player protection. And on set with me is Alicia Atkonda, Senior Manager, Licensing and Responsible Gaming. You as an operator, you as a player, you need to know some of these directives that are issued by the board. What is it in for you in case you do not follow the guidelines? But Alicia, I would love to know, we are seeing the board intensifying enforcement activities within this period. Why now?
Thank you for that question. It's the industry growth. The industry has grown significantly. So as the industry grows, we also have to intensify regulation. So industry growth vis-a-vis the proportional regulation, but also we've seen a lot of increased digital activity. Again, with the shift online, a lot of illegal websites are coming up. So that has intensified our enforcement operations. Okay. But then also illegal operators. They undermine the legitimate licensed operators, legitimate businesses. As I mentioned earlier, they tamper with machines. So we are intensifying our operations so that Ugandans are not fleeced and Ugandans can be able to gamble responsibly and have fun.
Me as a naive Ugandan who does not know even about the board, how do I tell an illegal company versus a legal one?
So legal companies, or what we call licensed companies, have a number of things that they need to display, both in their betting shops, but as well as their websites. One is the license number.
Okay.
So licensed operators have a license number, but then also they have a disclaimer that they are regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board, as well as betting language, like betting can be psychologically addictive and harmful. They display responsible gaming messages. They have a board, a notice board in their premises that displays our toll-free number where they can seek help. They also have branding.
What is the toll-free number?
0800 285 800. Okay. So that toll-free number is where, but then also branding. So you'll find that most of the illegal operators do not have branding. There'll be a shop inside somewhere
with curtains in front. And oh, by the way, where do sports betting shops have those? Is it
because gaming should not be seen by the public. To not entice people to come in, you should only go when you want to gamble.
When I have the urge, not to persuade me, please.
Yes, so branding is key. You'll find most of the licensed operators have branding, while the illegal ones do not brand their shops.
Before I reach the company or the shop where I'm going to bet from or where I'm going to gamble from, is there any way I can access the licensed companies?
Yes, so our website, that's lgrb.go.ug, has a list of licensed companies.
What is the website again?
lgrb.go.ug.
Okay.
Yes. So we post the list of licensed companies, but we also gazette our licensed companies. So anyone that wants to gamble from a legitimate operator should look out at our website for the licensed companies.
What are the strict requirements that you obtain for someone to obtain a new license for a casino, betting or lotteries? And how does the board verify the suitability of these applicants?
So as I mentioned earlier, the two key things we look out for is an integral person. So we look at your criminal background.
Oh.
So you have to have Interpol clearance for us, but then we also look at your financial capability.
How much are we looking at for me to begin a betting company?
So we have what we call the minimum.
Because there's so many myths that are around. You need to have, I don't know how much money. Please clarify to us.
So we have what we call the minimum capital requirements. There's a regulation that specifically highlights the amount that operators need to have. So you have to have a minimum capital of at least 250 million to run these operations, as well as a guarantee, because you're holding people's money.
Okay.
This is it's an industry where you have to be financially capable to run the operations. Yes.
So after I'm a successful applicant, do you come and visit the premises where I'm going to operate from, or I'm free to do whatever I want? And if I've stipulated that I'm going to operate, let me say, from Nasa Road, and in case I change business, must I still come back to you for change of premises?
So we've streamlined licensing, and I know it might seem a bit cumbersome to keep going to the board. So we have what we call the e-licensing portal, where we have three parts. You declare the premises that you're going to operate on the system. We come and inspect and ensure that they meet the requirements. But then also your key employees have to be licensed. So there are specific minimum number of key employees in line with the regulations. So everything is done on the portal. If you are shifting from one premise to another, you declare the same on the portal, so that then our team can be able to come and inspect.
For one out there who would want to venture into this business, please take me through the step-by-step of acquiring a license from the board.
So licensing is governed by the lotteries and gaming licensing regulations. So as I mentioned, how we streamlined the process is you go onto our website, that's lgrb.go.ug. You access the e-licensing tab, create an account, attach the necessary documentation that is needed. Then we evaluate your application, and if you're approved, we issue your license.
So with awareness, the pros and cons of excess addiction to gambling and betting, what measures has the board put in place to make sure there is complete awareness within the masses?
So we have our responsible gaming program that integrates a number of things. One is the awareness campaigns, where we are reiterating that people need to gamble responsibly. We focus on research-led decisions where we are going to the vulnerable groups. We've also integrated treatment and counseling, where we work with counselors that offer treatment and support, but also we ensure that operators verify age before participation.
They verify age.
So when you go into a legal operating shop, you have to present your national ID to ensure that you're above the gambling age.
Oh. Okay, so away from that, when it comes to betting, at times the rampant one that I've seen is within the low-income earners, the border riders, the taxi operators. How are you able to identify, what kind of mechanism do you use to identify these people that are really addicted to gambling? And what does the law say about it in the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board Act of 2016?
So we rely on research. So research informs our policy decisions. 2023, it was discovered that 99% of the gamblers are men, while 58% of those are below the age of 30.
Wow.
So already that tells you where we, as a board, begin from.
Okay.
So we have, again, the awareness campaigns where we're targeting groups like the borders that you've mentioned. We're incorporating financial literacy programs in our awareness drives, where we're telling them, you know, this is not a game for income. This is not where you're going to make money from. Save fast, bet what you can afford to lose, and just go. If you want to game, you gamble for entertainment solely. So we rely a lot on our research. We conduct research every 2 years to ensure that then that informs how we go out to the public, the targeted groups, where to focus on, etc. Yeah.
Tell me briefly, what could happen to someone, an operator or a player who does not adhere to the guidelines that you have issued as a regulatory board for lotteries and gaming?
So obviously when you breach the terms and conditions in accordance with the Act, we either revoke your license or suspend your license. So there are certain terms and conditions that we give you once we issue you a license. And once you breach those terms, either we issue measures for corrective action, or we revoke your license or suspend it. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Those are thorough statements there. I know as a board, you must be facing some challenges, especially with the policy enforcement. Can you highlight some of these?
So it's the rise in, again, illegal operations.
Illegal operations.
Illegal operations is a pain in our back. Okay. So there's been a big rise in illegal operations, but also the public misconception that I spoke to earlier.
Okay.
Most people view, or some view, our industry as a revenue generating industry. But ultimately our goal is to protect our citizens from the adverse effects. We accommodate the demand, but largely minimize the negative effects of gambling. So illegal operations, public misconceptions, but also we've seen a rise in cross-border digital platforms. So you'll find foreign platforms are now coming into the country online for people to gamble. So we're working with UCC.
That are not licensed to
buy.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're working with UCC to ensure that these illegal websites are curbed.
Okay. Yes. Tell me about your funding. Are you fully funded? Your operational costs are fully financed? Because some of the entities here do lack enough funding.
So we, as an institution, we collaborate a lot. So as funding might or might be enough, we try to ensure that we are working on our mandate. We are regulating, we are supervising operations. So we leverage a lot on collaboration with different MDAs. So you have Uganda Police Force for places that we are unable to get to.
Okay.
We have UCC, we have Ministry of Education, we have Ministry of Health. So in as much as funding might or might not be there, we also strive as an entity to look for other ways to ensure that we're executing our mandate.
Okay. Do you have any protection or any policies concerning whistleblowers?
Yes, so we have an informants policy. So a lot of our enforcement operations are intelligence.
Please explain about that.
So the informants,
policy.
Yes. So the informants policy is for people who are have realized there are illegal operations going on, they reach out to us, again on the toll-free helpline. But then we also leverage a lot, again, as I mentioned, on Uganda Police. But we do have an informants policy that protects these whistleblowers from
intimidation, because I know that is why in Uganda we have such problems that people will fear to come out as whistleblowers since they do not know the repercussions. From your own perspective, what would be your advice to a youth who wants to venture into gambling?
To participate in gambling. My advice would be to remember and know that gambling is purely a game of entertainment. It's purely a game of chance, and to ensure that they incorporate tools, or what we call responsible gaming tools, set financial limits, bet what you can afford to lose, and remember that gambling can be psychologically addictive.
Oh, okay. So as the online betting and gambling is rising, and we cannot deny the fact that there is AI, technology is advancing. Apart from working with UCC, what other policy measures are you putting in place to ensure this vulnerable player is protected? Because, you know, we do have blockchain technology that can help the players from being hacked. But in an instance where someone is cashing out their money, and online fraudsters take up this opportunity and the money is taken, what policy measures are you putting up as a board to ensure this is prevented? Or if it happens, what do you do about it?
Again, it's through creation of awareness creation. Because you see, whether we like it or not, there will always be fraudsters. So we are trying to create that awareness to ensure that players, through social media, through even traditional media, we are re-emphasizing that players should only gamble with licensed operators. Okay. So if you're not licensed, you're prone to such from fraud.
Okay.
Yes.
Ugandans, we normally say, even if you report to police, they will do nothing, or they will release the suspect or culprit. In this case, well, how do you ensure as the board that complaints lodged by the players against operators are handled efficiently and fairly to both parties?
So we have a dedicated legal department, like I said. So anyone that is aggrieved, we have what we call the complaints handling policy that can be accessed from our website. That's lgrb.go.ug. That spells out ways within which we handle complaints that we receive. But also our toll-free helpline that then helps these aggrieved players.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you have any policies that govern these operators with their staff? Are they trained? We've seen mistakes. Someone was supposed to cash out some huge amounts of money, but because there were errors in the system, someone loses out on their money. Do you train? Do you encourage them to be trained? How do you engage the operators?
So we have the responsible gaming directives. If you look at Regulation 8, it clearly compels operators to have what we call employee training programs in place. So these are assessed at the end of the year by us, by the board, to ensure that their employees are trained on responsible gaming, on anti-money laundering, as well as fraud risk assessments as well. So operators are required to train their employees against such. But then also we encourage operators or even the players to always read the terms and conditions that are placed on these websites as well as the betting platforms. Because you have instances where a player will not read the terms and conditions and then there's an issue that arises.
Oh, yes. And then it's on their downside, but you accepted.
Yes.
You signed off the terms and conditions. Yes. You talked about counseling services from the board. Are these services free to the player?
Yes, these services are free. You can call us on our contact center, again, 0800 285 800. We offer free sessions. We offer treatment. We have specialized counselors with both
you even offer treatment?
Yes.
Free?
So free. Wow.
Okay.
So we recently collaborated with private firms that then offer these counseling services, but also as well as the national referral hospitals and the mental health units at the different hospitals. Yes.
Okay, for the interest of time, Alicia Atkonda, the Senior Manager Licensing and Responsible Gaming, is here with me to discuss issues of responsible gaming and player protection. Please, can I have your closing remarks as we wrap this up?
Thank you so much again for having us as the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. Thank you, viewers, for listening and tuning in. My message is just to ensure that if you're to gamble, please gamble responsibly and know that gaming can be addictive and psychologically harmful. Thank you.
Before we close, please remind our viewers of where they can access help in case things go berserk or go south, the toll-free number and maybe the location of your offices.
Yes. So our toll-free helpline is 0800-285-800, or you could reach out to us on email at info@lgrb.go.ug, as well as our offices on Nuthuli Avenue, Bugolobi.
Okay, this is how we have had today. Good Morning Uganda Extra. More programming is coming up, and we shall meet tomorrow in the morning in Good Morning Uganda with Robert Churabo Nyonyintono and Julie F. Nantaba Amosisi. From me to you, have a blessed week. Please gamble responsibly. And if you come and notify the board about some wrongdoings from the operators, lotteries, gaming, casinos, mention it. Please make sure you've noted down that number, and you could save your son, your niece, or even your child, because most of these youth do it in hiding. Come out, speak out for the good of our nation, for God and my country. And to the entire production and technical team, you're doing an amazing job. My name is Joan. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC.